Ever wonder how to light the interior of a location for a dog photo shoot? Well, come along with us today as we photograph this cutie patootie little Cindy Lou inside their owner's brewery, and we move the light all around. Check it out. She's getting it eventually. I'd never been to their brewery, so here I'm trying to puzzle through all the different things I would like to attempt. Now, they had shown me some photos, and I knew there was a huge window out in the seating area, but I knew that light wouldn't get all the way back to the bar. There's also a little bit of a light coming from the side of the building, but again, I knew that wouldn't be enough, and we wanted a lot of images right here at the bar. Another problem was that they are in the middle of rebranding. So anything that had their old brand name on it, I could not have in any of the images. So here I'm wondering how to light the background. I look around to find a place to put my speed light to maybe flash up onto some of the chrome and the beer poles, some of the cool details back there. But as it turns out, there was no surface. There was no table back in the very spot I wanted to put the flash, and it ended up just not working. And later in the video, be watching for Frank off to the side. He will be holding the flash to point it to those back elements on a really, really low power, the little speed light there. I wanted Cindy Lou at that end of the bar and a little bit farther down. So we're looking at all the different possibilities and just doing some test shots here. The flashes we are using are the Flashpoint brand. The bigger one there is battery operated. That's my Explorer 600. And the speed light that Frank is using is the Flashpoint Zoom TTL R2, just their basic speed light. I love that these are both battery powered, so there's no cords that I needed to string. I didn't have to find an outlet somewhere in this building, and it's the battery lasted the entire time. And I just have a wireless transmitter. Oh, and the modifier is the Glow Parapop 28-inch portable softbox. And action! Here we have little Cindy Lou on the bar top. You can see the view from my main video camera and the GoPro on top of my camera. Good job! Good girl! You could see she responded very well to the Dog Sounds app. So at this point, we just slid everything down to the corner end of the bar. Frank is still in the background, flashing to expose the background. And we've just moved the Explorer 600 closer, and it's more of a 45 and 45 to Cindy Lou on the bar right there. You'll notice we put the world's tiniest cup of beer on the bar next to her, which she wasn't, of course, at all interested in. But we gave her treats later, don't you worry. Next up, we wanted to set her down on one of the bar stool chairs. So I moved the flash to the other side. And I'm just adjusting it here because she's so short on that chair. I wanted to be able to get the light not to block from the actual counter. So I'm wiggling it around so we get the light on the dog on the chair instead of on the bar top. You'll see. You'll see. This next idea we came up with together. We thought if we put a little treat on the bar, she would stand on that chair and look like she's just saddled up to the bar for that drink. It took a little bit of coaxing of the owner, so to kind of get the timing just right. And the chair was just a tiny bit slippery for little Cindy. So we had a couple of struggles in here, but we work them out. Here I decide that the wide angle just isn't working for me, and that maybe if I put my 70 to 200 lens on and stood way back, The dog would be a little bit more comfortable and I'd get a little more compressed image. So we're trying that for a couple of different reasons here.
There it is. Everybody back? There we go. She's adorable.
One last try, we put a cloth on the chair to help her not slide around. I think if we'd had some peanut butter that we could just spread on that ledge, that would have worked even better than this dry treat. This is our last setup at this bar on the chairs with the beer in the cup in the chair in front of her. It's kind of a cool effect.
Frank, can you make one of the noises, please?
Next up, we're in the tiny barrel room in the little back room of this brewery. And there's a lot of shiny surfaces and a very small space to work in. I've got my wider angle lens back on. Frank actually has this speed light just out of frame. And we have to be very careful of all of our reflections in those silver barrels behind her. In the end, I was okay because some of the color stripes, that's all they were just color stripes. So it was okay in the end. It was a challenge in here though.
Good job, honey. Hi. Hi. Shake a shake a. Are you our brewery dog? Woohoo!
So sorry I don't have footage of exactly where Frank is standing with that speed light. I don't think we even had an umbrella on it. It was just a speed light, maybe even bouncing up into the corner. I don't exactly remember. These GoPro footage always makes things look brighter than they really were. We put a little towel on top of that barrel, and she was actually pretty comfy here. We gave her a whole lot of treats, don't worry. And I really loved doing this low angle with my wide angle lens. You'll see in a second. But it was hard to fit anyone in this room. This was an extra small space. Everyone's standing back behind some other barrels at this point. Oh, you can almost see Frank's reflection on the left side of that one shiny barrel. But you could see the flash popping. She did a good job. And lastly, we went out to the patio area. And yes, I did bring a flash out here.
Right, so what I would love is wicker chair with a red door in the background.
So Frank had rigged up the little speed light on a stand with the umbrella. And this is just to fill in. There was a lot of shadowy areas that, again, are hard to tell on the video, but it really helped add a sparkle to her eyes while she was sitting on that wicker chair. So I'm explaining that we want to have Cindy on the chair and we'd loop the leash through the arm. So it was really, really easy to edit later. And you can see Frank has the app with the noises above us. Mom has some treats. This is the end of the session and Cindy's getting a little tired, but she's doing a good job. And the very last setup is on this flower pot. And I do have the light, I believe, just off to the left again. Really cute setup.
Oh yeah, kitty. Oh my gosh, yes, thank you, Frank.
Kitty noises for the win. Good job, Sandy Lou.
Those are perfect. So perfect. Good job.
In the final images, I did end up editing out lots of distracting things in the bar. The cord from the TV, cord from some of the equipment in the background. Even in one of the images, we decided to edit out one of the signs in the background. There was some like stickers and some lights on little parts of the bar. So I did do a fair amount of just tiny little touch-up editing to take away anything extra distracting because this bar scene is fairly busy on its own. We don't want anything else extra distracting. And she really loved the images in the end. Huge thank you and props to the Yetters out in Greeley, Colorado for letting me film this lighting and photo shoot behind the scenes with all of you.